But anyway, on to the next subject. The more juicier stuff, the stuff that my audience actually cares about. So there was like a shooting just today, actually, this morning in Texas. I think the little town is called White Settlement. The church is in a town called White Settlement, Texas. And I can already hear SJWs reeing over the fact that they call it White Settlement because apparently that town is promoting white supremacy and the founders of that town were promoting white supremacy. Ree! But anyway. But yeah, so basically there's this shooting that just happened in White Settlement, Texas. I'll have this Dallas News article linked down in the description box below if anybody wants to read it. But basically, 2 people died and 1 person was critically injured in this shooting. And one of the 2 people who died happened to be the shooter himself. Because guess what? People were self-defending themselves from the shooter. So, to read a little description from the Dallas News article, again, you can check out the entire article yourself, but I just want to speed through these first 2 articles. The shooting was captured on a live stream of Sunday's worship service. In the video, which is no longer available on the church's YouTube channel, a person stands and pulls out what appears to be a shotgun, then fires twice before someone toward the back of the sanctuary returns fire. Some congregants holding guns rushed toward the shooter, while others ducked under church pews. Governor Greg Abbott called the shooting an evil act of violence in a statement Sunday afternoon. Places of worship are meant to be sacred, and I am grateful for the church members who acted quickly to take down the shooter and help prevent further loss of life. Abbott said, Cecilia and I ask all Texans to join us in praying for the White Settlement community and for all those affected by this horrible tragedy. For the 1 innocent person who did die and the 1 innocent person injured, it's a horrible tragedy. But I say, relatively speaking, things went better than it could have been. People were armed in the sanctuary and started returning fire, and they got the shooter. They got the son of a bitch. And what do I want to do? I know that these kinds of incidents should not be politicized within 24 hours of the incident actually happening. I mean, typically that's a rule that people go for. But I'm going to make my 2 cents known right now, since I know that in the future people are going to politicize this, and by then this story will be old and I probably won't bother with another news stream, and knowing how often these news streams get put out, I probably won't get to this in time. But what do I want as far as law goes? I mean, generally speaking, even if the death toll on a single shooting I don't think is worth taking away mass amounts of people's self-protection, that being their guns, away. I don't even think it's worth slowing them down. Government forcefully slowing them down from getting a firearm, really. And what do I think should be done over this? What do I think could have been done law-wise? I don't think it would have turned up much better, if at all any better, if there was no firearms. Who knows? The shooter probably would have smuggled something in. I mean, they are in freaking Texas after all. That is like 1 hop away from Mexico, and with our kind of loose immigration enforcement going on, a person could have damn well possibly smuggled a weapon into Texas and ultimately committed this shooting, and nobody would have been able to defend themselves if we were to ban guns anyways, or make it harder for people to get guns. But as far as I'm concerned, I think good on the part of the self-defendees. There possibly might have not even been any self-defendees if we were to restrict people's gun rights even more so, be it by banning them or making it harder for people to get guns. So, in kind of expansion of this story though, an expansion of this story anyways, regarding the White Settlement, Texas shooting, there's this story that was shared to me in my Discord server. Florida woman 8 months pregnant used AR-15 to shoot and kill home intruder. This was shared by Nightshift 10,000, so shout out to him for sharing this article. And let's check it out. I haven't read this article at all, so we are going to pretty much read through the whole thing. Whereas these two articles right here and here, I had read through them. The woman who fatally shot a home intruder in suburban Tampa last week was pregnant and used an AR-15 to kill the man, according to a news report. And I will say, God bless Florida for not trying to rescind on people's gun rights, unlike Virginia, who is like slowly getting more tyrannical with that. Jeremy King of Lithia told Bay News 9 that his wife, who is 8 months pregnant, was in a back bedroom Wednesday when two men burst in at about 9 p.m. and began brutally beating King, demanding money and grabbing his 11-year-old daughter. Holy shit. So there is more damage done than I originally assumed. The woman told the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office that she grabbed the weapon and shot one of the suspects once. That man was dead in a nearby ditch by the time deputies arrived. King said one of the men shot at his wife first. Oh. Pretty intense situation for a pregnant woman to be in. And I will say, it's dependent on genetics, but there are some women who do not handle pregnancy that well, that it practically, I don't know, practically cripples them in their athletic ability. But if this woman was able to like practically dodge that and handle a firearm at the same time, well, she's in pretty damn good shape despite being pregnant, so forth. I mean, a lot of women are in pretty damn good shape despite them being pregnant, but that aside, anyways. The other suspect fled. Deputies are still searching for him. Keep on doing so. Keep on doing so. Them guys came in with two normal pistols and my AR stopped it, King said. My wife evened the playing field and kept them from killing me, King said. God bless, sir. King was taken to a hospital but was listed in stable condition. He told the TV station that he suffered a fractured eye socket, a fractured sinus cavity, a concussion, 20 stitches, and 3 staples in my head in the attack. The rural, sparsely populated community is about 20 miles southeast of Tampa. Read more and see a video at Bay News 9. Wow. Quite the story there. But I will say, yeah, that's another example of guns saving lives, people's lives, damn it. And if you are to like restrict more on people's gun rights, you are going to make it harder for people to have these kinds of situations. Or at least the positive side of these kinds of situations, of where that they were able to defend themselves anyways.